Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Charlie. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my delicious homemade strawberry pie from scratch. Now, all this is, it consists of a homemade strawberry filling added into a pre-baked pie shell. And once the filling has set and cooled, we're going to top it with a delicious whipped cream right on top and chill it just before serving. This recipe, you can get about 8 to 10 slices of homemade strawberry pie. It's a great recipe to try, especially around strawberry season when strawberries are plentiful. It's absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all what you'll need to make your homemade strawberry pie. Let's get started with our ingredients. You'll need 2 pounds of frozen strawberries thawed. You will also need some all-purpose flour, sugar, salt, cornstarch, gelatin, unsalted butter cold, buttered flavored vegetable shortening cold, vanilla extract, and some heavy whipping cream cold. And for your tools, you will need a food processor. Now, if you don't have this, you can use a pastry cutter. You will also need a rolling pin. You're also going to need some parchment paper and some dried beans. And to bake your pie, you will need a 9.5 inch, that's 25 centimeter, deep dish pie pan. And there we have it. Alright, let's get straight to it. We're going to get started with our pie crust. So in this food processor, add 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to pulse this 2 times just to get that incorporated. Here I have 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter cold and 4 tablespoons of buttered flavored vegetable shortening cold. I'm going to add that in there. Pulse this 10 times or until that butter and the shortening is cut into the flour. Alright, that looks good. I'm going to transfer the flour mixture into this medium-sized bowl. Add 1/4 cup of cold water. Take a large sturdy spoon and stir this until the dough starts to come together. When the mixture starts to come together, take your hands and form the mixture into a dough. Form it into a ball. Place this into your refrigerator for about 15 minutes. Lightly flour the surface of your table. Add the dough on top of the table. Press the dough down with your hands. I'm going to add a little bit more flour on top of the dough. I'm going to take my rolling pin and I'm going to roll this out into a 12-inch in diameter circle. I'm going to take the rolling pin and place it on one side of the dough. Proceed to roll the dough onto the rolling pin. Now, as you're rolling the dough onto the rolling pin, you want to make sure that you add flour onto the dough so that way the dough won't stick onto itself. Okay, that looks good. We're going to take the dough and roll it onto your pie pan. I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to press the dough down into the baking pan. Make sure you lift up the edge of the pie crust as you're pressing the dough down into the pie pan so that way some of the air can escape. Here I have some kitchen scissors. I'm going to take them and I'm going to trim off the excess dough from the pie pan. Leave about 1 to 1 1/2 inches of pie dough left hanging on the sides of the pie pan. Next, you're going to take your fingers and you're going to roll the edge of the pie dough onto the edge of the pie pan, like how you see here. Once done, make sure you take your hand and make sure that the dough is nice and even on the edge of the pie pan. Let's crimp the pie crust. I'm going to take my index and my middle finger and push outward while pushing in with my opposite index finger. Go all around the pie crust with this. And there we go. Here I have a fork. I'm going to take the fork and I'm going to poke holes into the bottom of the pie crust. This is going to prevent the crust from bubbling up during the baking process. Place this into your freezer for about 2 hours or until the pie crust is completely frozen. Okay, our pie crust is nice and frozen. Take a sheet of parchment paper and place it into the pie pan. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 375 degrees. Alright, here I have some red beans. I don't know why I'm using this when I have a whole thing of pinto beans up there I could use. I'm just going to add that in there. Okay, I went on ahead and decided to add my pinto beans. I had totally forgot about it. I'm just going to add a little bit of that in there too. The beans act as weight to prevent the crust from bubbling up during the baking process. Now it is ready to be baked. Place this into a preheated 375 degree oven on the middle rack. Bake this for 35 minutes. Alright, it's been about 35 minutes now for our pie crust. Let's remove this out of the oven. Now I'm going to remove the parchment paper with the beans inside of it, and I'm going to place this into a bowl over here. Here is the bottom of the pie crust after it's baked. It's a nice golden brown. That lets us know that the pie crust has been baked thoroughly. Let the pie crust cool completely. Alright, let's get started with the thickening agent for our strawberry pie. So in this measuring cup, I've added 2 1/2 cups of cool water, and to that I'm going to add 5 tablespoons of cornstarch and 1 tablespoon of gelatin. I'm going to take my whisk and stir this really well until combined. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Alright, let's get started with making our strawberry filling. So in this medium-sized 4-quart pot, add your 2 pounds of frozen strawberries thawed. And to that, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of sugar and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Stir all your ingredients together. I'm going to let this get hot for about 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, it's been about 3 to 4 minutes now. Strawberry mixture should be nice and hot. Add your gelatin and cornstarch mixture. Make sure that you mix that with a whisk before you pour it into the strawberry filling. Give this a quick stir. Let this come to a simmer first. Then you're going to let it simmer for 10 to 12 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright, it's been about 10 to 12 minutes now. As you can see, our strawberry filling has thickened. It is ready. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn my fire off. Let this cool for 40 minutes. Okay, let's assemble our pie. Here we have our pre-baked pie crust. Add your homemade strawberry filling into the pie pan. Mix and spread the filling around the pie pan as evenly as possible. I'm using a spoon. You can use that if you want to. Make sure all the strawberries are nice and even. Place this into your refrigerator, or if you want a quick result, place it into your freezer for about 4 hours. And of course, you're going to let it sit in your refrigerator overnight. You can also cover this by placing a pie shield followed by aluminum foil right on top. Alright, let's get started with making our homemade whipped cream. Before we begin, make sure that you place your mixing bowl and your whisk attachment in your refrigerator so that way it can get nice and cold. Add 1 1/2 cups of heavy whipping cream cold, 1/3 cup of confectioner sugar, 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to start my mixer on a medium-low speed just to get the ingredients incorporated. Turn your mixer up to the highest setting. Mix this on high speed for about 3 to 4 minutes or until the mixture reaches stiff peaks. And from there, our whipped cream is ready. Place this into your refrigerator for about 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, I let my pie set in the refrigerator overnight. Now, how to tell if the filling is set? If you tap it on the top and it springs back and it's jiggly, that lets you know that the filling is set. Add your whipped cream on top of the filling. Spread the whipped cream around the filling with using an offset spatula as evenly as possible. And from there, our homemade strawberry pie is done. Place this into your refrigerator for about 30 minutes to an hour before serving. And make sure you keep this in your refrigerator at all times. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Homemade strawberry pie, made by a New Orleans native. You can check out this recipe along with all of my other recipes. Go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Now I'm going to go ahead and try this. Oh yeah. It's a real delicate pie. It has a nice strawberry flavor combined with that whipped cream, and that crust is nice, buttery, but it has just the right amount of sweetness, not overly sweet at all. Absolutely delicious. So give the recipe a try. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one. Peace.